Hello, all you beautiful souls out there. This is Sherry at Soul Conscious Tarot, and we are here for another energy check-in. So this is going to be an interesting reading today, so I hope you'll stay and tune in. I felt this, we're pulling on this shift that I feel in the energy. I feel like this last front that came through, if you're in the US, we had this big, huge storm front that came through. Like like in 12 hours here, we went from, if Fahrenheit, this is Fahrenheit, not Celsius, 85, like mid 80s Fahrenheit to below freezing, in with huge, like winds, and there's tornadoes, and we had snow, and then after the snow there was, like, when the snow melted, we had like layers of dust on the car that were blown in with the storm from like other states. It was like really crazy. But then, like, after that, like, it was like this shift, like this huge shift. I could feel it in the energy, like it was this big, like, pop. I felt like a pop, like a bubble was burst, and there was like this instant change in like the, like, levity, like this levity had been lifted, or like lightness came in. So I'm really feeling that. So I was really interested in pulling on it. So that's what we're pulling on here today. So we have the reunion card coming out. That's actually been coming out quite a bit, like reunion of some type. Mistakes have been made. I think this is about, okay, so this is like, I think that in the energy right now, a lot of people are realizing, like, maybe in connections they've made poor choices because of their ego, because of feeling unworthy. And I think we're in this energy right now of self-compassion. I was getting that, like, the last couple of days I've been getting hit with actually a lot of stuff on self-compassion, and I'm almost feeling that energy of where you really forgive yourself. Like, you you're no longer beating yourself up about mistakes that you made, mistakes you made when you were maybe in your ego, or where you were trying to defend yourself, where you because you were acting out of a wounded energy, potentially. And so it's that space where we're basically freeing up energy, because we're releasing, where we have been hard on ourselves, or taken something out on ourselves for choices we've made, decisions we've made, actions that we've taken. It really is that. So this is a hodgepodge deck of oracle decks that wanted to come out to play today for our overall energy. And I knew there was going to be a lot of cards that came out, because I had some weird decks coming out to play. Well, interesting enough, now I shuffled this deck a lot of time, like several times, and like the flipping kind of, like shuffles to like really shuffle the cards up. I shuffled this deck up like a half a dozen times before before I even started on the rolling the camera. And then you saw me just shuffling just now as well, and 3 cards from the same deck came out. Like, what's the odds of that just fell out of the deck? So we have Embrace Wonder, find, and this has, and I want to show you, there are many different decks in this. There's like probably 4, I think almost 4 decks, at least 4 decks in there. So we have Embrace Wonder, find beauty in the world, and revel in abundance, giving kindness and plenty. I love that energy. Embracing grace, trust the process and know you will overcome the obstacles. Evolve, cycles, resilience. It's overcoming obstacles, transformation, new cycles, embracing the new. Inner child, release inhibitions and let yourself dance freely, play light. I was feeling this lightening of the energy. It's really seeing the world with new eyes in some way, where we've let go, we've transformed something we've held on, that's kept our inner child, that's like kept us stuffy and stodgy is being released. Like that heaviness is, there's a weight that, it's not to say that all your cares and worries have gone away. No, 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 no. Not all your cares and worries have gone away by any means here. But what it's telling me is that there was something that was released as a result of this past week, with the energies leading up and through the lunar eclipse, full moon eclipse in Virgo, and now we're in Mercury retrograde. I feel like something has really been released out of our energy. I think on a very collective level. I don't know that, yes, it's going to affect you on an individual level, because whatever that big collective release was, of energy, it's affecting everyone on a smaller scale. So within, so without, so above, so below. Everything's connected. Everything in the universe is connected, and everything, anything you see on a macro scale or feel on a micro scale you're gonna see it on a macro scale, and anything on a macro scale, you're gonna see it on a minor scale or a micro scale in some way, because everything is connected and in some way. So interesting enough, we had all these decks, but this one wanted to come out to play too. And I feel like there's, we'll see what this is, but I'm feeling it might give us an indication of what might have been released at this time, but we'll see. So yeah, a clearing. So one of the things with autumn here is autumn is a time when we reap what we sow. We're clearing the fields to prepare for winter. We're harvesting the abundance. But what are we doing? We're preparing. We're clearing the fields so that now we have an empty slate. We have an empty field that we can grow new crops in when spring arrives. Okay. So I feel like this is like in the sense of energy, it's that clearinghouse. It's the clearing space. I'm getting like almost the death card vibe off of this autumn card, and death is kind of it is kind of an autumn energy, because it talks about recycling, the cycles and a transformation, and we have the butterfly here in the transformation process. And I actually do like that there's this fire back here burning behind this tree. And interesting, you can barely see it. I don't know if you can see it. I'm really good at picking out patterns of stuff, like weird stuff, but I'm seeing this heart here, and I don't know if you can see it. There's a heart here. I don't know that was intended, but I'm seeing a heart here, like in the middle of this tree. But it's like the heart is protected by these branches and vines from this fire that is burning around. And if you know right now, there's a lot going on in the world. There's been a lot going on in the world. And it's almost like I feel like the universe has come in some way, or spirits come in some way, whatever you subscribe to, whatever gods, deities, religion, it doesn't matter. Higher powers, whatever you subscribe to that's bigger than you. If you're an atheist, you just have to figure it out. If this reading resonates, it resonates, and then it almost makes me wonder, are you really an atheist? Because why would you be at a reading about spirituality in that sense? But maybe you're trying to figure it out. Good on you. So this is really, it's giving me this vibe of picking up on like the universe or spirit burning away something, burning away an energy that's no longer serving the collective, like this big release. I'm in the US, and in the US we have horrible wildfires that go on the West Coast every year. There's these big, and they just keep getting worse and worse every year. But it's, fire is a way to cleanse. It's a cleansing energy. It scorches the ground to prepare for new growth. Just like when a volcano erupts, like all this natural, the natural disasters, just like with the storm that we had here in the Midwest where I'm at, the big storm front that came through. There was, I think, one of the largest ever tornadoes that went through actually an area I used to live in, like literally in the area I used to live in probably 15 years ago. And when I lived there, there was a tornado that came through as well. That was a pretty devastating one. But what I'm trying to say here is that those storms happen because Mother Nature is trying to clear something in the energy, trying to clear something up in our energy or in the world, because it's all about balance. It's all about harmony. It's about keeping things in balance. Everything in the world needs to be in balance. When things are out of balance, then something needs to shift. Everything in our 3D reality is in some form of duality. It's on a scale, like, so it's there's the two extremes, and it's all about finding the middle ground, the balance, keeping things, the two extremes, in balance. Good and bad, light and dark. It's the polar opposites. Even our world, it has poles: the North Pole, South Pole. We have the magnetic poles, and everything's about balance. It's about harmony. And when things get out of balance, then we have to find the balance again. And so I feel like something was released in the energy. Look at that, the death card coming out. I am not surprised. We have death, and a transformation, which is also indicating a death, a resurrection of something. And we have the Fool, which is after this. I really feel like there's this, I love that on this energy. It's like we've reflected on something, because in the beginning, when I was looking at the intro energy to get a gauge on what's going on from this Messages of Love deck, which is a deck I haven't used in forever. And I haven't even pulled these out in a long time. So it was talking about like, I feel like that self-compassion, where we've released something, we've actually healed something within us without even realizing. Like, I feel like almost something, because of the energy, something was released within us, like I said, on this collective level, but on an individual level, it is affecting us on an individual level, where it's helping us release something so that we can walk into this brighter new day, this lighter, more lighthearted energy that maybe we haven't felt in a long while. So there's just like a weight that feels like it's been lifted off of us in some way. So with the Seven of Wands, this is really interesting, this Seven of Wands card, because he's walking a tightrope, okay, over the wands. He's holding this wand, and it's almost like he's afraid. He looks like he's trying, it's about, you can't make this stuff up. He's balancing on this tightrope, with the wand. So it's a balancing act. It's like something's coming into balance. There was this need for balance that is coming in here. It's so crazy how I love the synchronicities that have been coming into the readings the last few days are phenomenally crazy. So let's see. We have Temperance coming out here. Balance again, another card of balance on this Nine of Cups, which, Nine of Cups is talking about wish fulfillment. It's talking about, what we deserve, or going after or doing something that is our heart's desire, that we enjoy, that makes us happy, that it's almost like a celebration, or it can be an someone overindulging in something as well. And what happens when we overindulge? Usually we pay for it in some way, because now we have to, our bodies have, or whatever, have to find that balance. So for instance, like if we do too much of something, like we do too much exercise, we eat too much, we drink too much, or party too much, our body has to repair. There's that balance of the restorative process that it has to repair, and find that balance, the equilibrium again. And then once we find the equilibrium, then we feel better. And I feel like what keeps coming through is something has been released on a huge collective level that has made it easier, like where we might have had trouble maybe getting something off the ground or starting something or initiating something or doing something, where we may have felt a little bit stuck, where it may have been a challenge to try and move forward in some way. I feel like so that has been released. Like we're not going to be as stuck as we're not going to have to, whatever this has been released for you. And I feel like it's different for different people because of our astrological charts and how the energy is affecting you on a personal level. So depending on your astrological or your natal chart, and what houses different things are in, it's going to affect you in a different way in different parts of your life. So you'll have to understand how this is resonating for you. But how you'll know that this is resonating, or that you're feeling that or picking up on this energy, is that you feel the light, like in the last few days or the coming days to come, you're going to feel lighter. You're going to feel like something, like all of a sudden things feel like they're okay, or you feel like things weren't as hard as you thought they were. They weren't as hard. That's the key. Things aren't as, like whatever you thought was challenging or was challenging for you before or was difficult, it's like the amount of effort needed now has been released, or the perception of the challenge, the perception of the challenge, the difficulty has been released. That's really interesting, a very interesting take on what's going on, because that's the key here. And I love when I get to the heart. I love when I get to the meat in the heart of what's trying to come through, the message that's trying to come through. And that's the heart that's coming through, there was this release of, there was this clearing in the energy. It was like at the beginning, I talked about like a bubble bursting, like this burst. And I think it was like, how, like if there's like a sonic wave or something, it's like boom, and it's like this ripple effect. I feel like there was this boom in the energy the last few days, like this just boom, and the energy, it rippled outward, and we're all just being affected by it. And how we're being affected is somewhere within our life where we were feeling stuck, or we were feeling challenged, or we were feeling like we were struggling with something. It doesn't feel like a struggle, or we feel in our mind like it's not as difficult as what we thought it was maybe a week ago or a month ago. It's like all of a sudden I can do this. It's like that mental clarity of I've got this, like I don't know why I thought this was so hard. I don't know why I was making this a burden. I don't know why I was thinking about this so negatively when it's so easy. It's like where it was difficult before, now it's easy. And that's what the lightness is. It's like, oh, I don't know why I was stressing about this. Why was I stressing about this? Why was I causing myself so much grief? And that came up at the beginning, like that with the messages of love cards. It came up, that kind of came through, where we were forgiving ourselves, and having compassion for maybe a decision or a choice or a thing we said or something we did, where and maybe it was because, and we saw the second chance card as well. And so it's like we saw that now we feel like we can give something a second chance where we thought we couldn't in the past, we couldn't make something work. Now we're seeing the way to make it work. And we're like, what was I even thinking? Why was I beating myself up about this? Why was I giving myself a hard time? Why was I keeping myself like so frustrated or so upset about this like I was? So we have the Page of Pentacles clarifying the Fool. and the Queen of Swords clarifying the Seven of Wands. So so what I'm getting here, and by the way, we aren't, if you noticed, I've been starting to put on the title card whether we're doing yes or no questions, and we're not going to do a yes or no question today. I've been told to do that one day a week now. I don't know when that day will be. It'll be on the title card when I do it, but I've been told one day out of the week. And Spirit's going to pick when that reading is. So just keep eye on the title card if you're interested in when I do yes or no questions. So with the Page of Pentacles clarifying the Fool here, I keep getting drawn to the Sun, and this Sun there's this link between the Sun and the Pentacle, the Sun and the Pentacle. So it's like, in the Pentacles here, see how this person has got his eye on the Pentacle and like re-examining it, re-looking at it, like because Page of Pentacles can be a card of the student, somebody that's learning, trying to figure something out, and this person's trying to look at this. He's picked up one of this where he was exhausted, he was toiling and laboring in the fields all day. We talked about the fields, laboring in the fields all day. He's exhausted, he's tired of your, so it's saying we're tired. There was something that was exhausting to us, mentally, emotionally, whatever. It was wearing us down. It was, going over and over in our mind about, and that thing, whatever it's going to be, you're going to have to take that, you're going to have to personalize it for you. Because it could be, maybe you were, like, I need to find a new place to live, or I need a new job, or I need, or it's a person, maybe you were stressing out about a person, and because somebody, you didn't know how to deal with a situation or something like that. You didn't know how to deal with the situation. It was giving you a lot of stress. It was wearing you out, exhausting you, making you tired. But what has changed? What has changed and transformed here is now we're examining the situation and getting an understanding that it's easier, that now we can be this Fool. Now we can approach this in a more positive light, whatever it was or whatever it is for you. And then with the Queen of Swords coming out here, clarifying the Seven of Wands, which I talked is coming out of trying to find balance. It's trying to, there's something that was trying to, like the energy had gotten too heavy, where we maybe had focused so heavily on a certain topic that it was becoming a little bit toxic for us. And so now the pendulum swung, and it's trying to course correct. And sometimes when the pendulum is trying to course correct, it can swing, it can swing very largely the other way before it settles in the middle. So I feel like because things have been skewed toward this heavier energy for a bit, it's now got that. It's like ping, and like it's going far over to the other side, and it's going to kind of then settle toward the middle. So this may only be a energy that stays around for a brief period, but I would definitely take advantage of it, because it is talking about finding that balance. There's this need to find balance, to keep harmony and keep balance, or find the balance, and to understand, I feel like with this Queen of Swords, it's almost like to keep the objective in sight. Okay, so keep moving, keep your eyes forward on the prize, so to speak, as you're moving forward in this lighter energy, and being able to have a second chance, or reunite, or come back around and revisit something that has been challenging, where now it feels less challenging, and now we can tackle something, we can move forward with something that in the past we felt like it was difficult, that we just couldn't do it. And as we do that, it's saying, I feel like this Queen of Swords is saying, it's kind of pointing up to the sword is pointing at this guy balancing, and it's clarifying that there's this need to strike a chord of balance, like to keep the positive. And look, there's even these butterflies in the card, the transformation, like, but look, it's the transformation. The butterflies are behind her. She's not looking back, she's looking forward. She's looking forward, and her eyes are wide open, and she's staying the course. That's a good way of phrasing it, of what I'm feeling off of this energy, is staying the course. And she's squashing any moon energy and that shadowy dark energy. That's that what we've moved out of. So we're not letting ourselves get stuck in this. It's saying, don't let yourself get stuck. Squash anything that tries to pull you back into this line of thinking or this way of feeling, to squash that and keep your eyes on the prize, stay the course, and squash anything that will pull you back into this previous energy when it comes to this situation. Because I really feel like it's giving us a chance to really push forward in an area of our life, to really push forward and get something accomplished and to move forward in a huge way, if we're willing to take advantage of the energy right now. But as I said, I really feel like this is a pendulum swing. So it went from, even though we're able to squash this shadowy energy right now, the universe is helping us sit on it and squash it for the moment. There is this pendulum swing of it swung the other direction, and we're in this clearer, sunnier, lighthearted, more carefree energy, where we're feeling more positive, where we feel like we can seize the day, we can take action. But it's temporary. It's not going to last. This clarity, because this is about clarity too. Queen of Swords gets clarity. So there's this clarity right now on how to tackle something and move forward. So it's all about like harnessing and taking action and using the energy right now for that momentum that it's giving you to move forward in a certain way. We all have free will, but this is great advice. Like, it's really helping you understand like how to take advantage of this energy right now and what's going on. And I hope it really does help you in some way take advantage of the situation right now, or what's going on in the energy right now, because it could really propel you. I feel like this is almost like you have a choice whether you want to jump timelines or not. And if you're not somebody that's familiar with timelines and timeline jumping, we jump timelines all day, every day. You don't even realize it, because most timeline jumps are very like they might be just small little timeline jumps, because with every decision and every choice that we make, every choice, there's a consequence, a ripple effect for every choice that we make. And even every non-choice that we make, every choice has there's a consequence, there's an effect. It's cause and effect. So every choice we make, it ripples out in some way. So that's what they always call, like, different, when there's different dimensions and different realities, because every choice, there's a reality associated with every choice that we could make. You could go left, you can go right. It's like, if you think about like walking down a hall with a bunch of doors, and behind every door there's another reality, there's another like world that could come about based on the choices that you make. So that's like timeline jumping. It's based on the choices we make all through the day, how we interact with people, and what we do in our life. It actually shapes the world around us, the world that we see, the world that we experience, our own private world, so to speak. And so that what we're doing is we're because time is not linear like we've been taught. It kind of is all wrapped up on itself. So we're jumping and shifting timelines all day every day, but this is giving us the opportunity. If we take advantage of this energy, it's giving us the opportunity to really shift timelines in a positive way. Right now, like if we take advantage of this energy, the universe is saying, hey, if you take advantage of this energy right now, we're going to really propel you forward on a huge in a huge way, on a huge timeline jump where you would it's almost like you get to bypass. It's like taking the bypass or taking an off ramp or a bypass, like around a city. It's like it gets you there quicker. It gets you to the end goal quicker. Does that make sense? I hope that you understand what I'm getting to here is that's what's happening in the energy. It's like there's this bubble that, like, we were caught in this bubble of dense energy, and the bubble's now popped, and it's the bubble's fading and rippling out and going away. And in the result, in the aftermath of that bubble popping, it's saying I've put this, I've cleared the fields. I've cleared the fields. We talked about this. I've cleared the fields. The universe spirit is saying, I've cleared the field for you. What are you going to do with it? What choice are you going to make? If you choose to take advantage of me clearing the field and plant right now in this optimal energy to plant something, you're going to go on that bypass and take, really bypass a lot of stuff in your life that like things that you may have had to experience that might have been, that may have taken you a lot longer to get somewhere. Right now is the opportunity to take a shortcut in some way in your life. So are you going to take that shortcut is what the universe is saying. It's giving you the opportunity. You just have to take it. Are you going to take it? That's up to you. We all make our own choices. We all have free will, to make our choices. So that's what's in the energy. That's what I have for you guys today. I thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this reading. Always like, share, subscribe. It always helps us, of course, as always. And thank you so much for all the love and support that you give to me. I hope you have a beautiful and wonderful day wherever you are in the world. And this message is timeless, by the way. So whenever you find it, you're meant to find it. I wish you the best, much harmony and gratitude to you, my lovely friends.